G'day guys. In this video I'm going to have a look at LensGo's teleprompter that they actually have for the beam splitting glass. Let's see how your camera attaches to it, because apparently you can fit a DSLR camera onto this device as well. It means to say your DSLR camera would be hanging off the back. The foldable teleprompter comes with a beam splitting glass already fitted inside. And they've also included an array of metal adapter rings. Now this will suit most DSLR cameras, and there's a foam light shield, and they've also included a variety of fitted light shades. I found everything I needed in those instructions to put it all together. And they've included a Bluetooth start-stop fob. Now this goes along with that free teleprompter app. The mobile phone clamp to mount your mobile phone. So I've set up the teleprompter on just a little baby tripod here for the experiment, and to just illustrate how to set it up. And it's all opened up. The little iPad's just sitting there on that sticky pad, so it won't slip off. It's actually pretty good. It won't come off at all, which is good. And in the instructions, it highlights that you have to use the 62mm ring. And once you've selected that 62mm ring, you use this little rubber surround and stick that onto that 62mm ring for your mobile phone. So I'll do that now. And on the back, I just slip that in there like that, and it locks in. These two little latches on the bottom here hold it nicely. So there we have the rings sitting in. You've got a nice rubber surface for the camera to go against, so it'll screen out any light from coming in from the sides. On the back of the device, you've got these little threaded holes, and there's a little square receiving, like a key to stop the device moving around. It locks into place. So this has a little square end on it as well, so it'll go into there. That is the way you set it up if you want it in portrait mode, but I'm going to set it up in landscape. Because I'm using my iPhone, I'm going to select the little square lights around. I'm going to place that inside there. And my mobile phone is going to cover that. So the idea is to make sure that you can get your mobile phone lined up with that. So with that little thread on the back there, just slightly loose, you're able to move your phone up and down to align it. Loosen it off a touch, slide down the holder, and I'll move my phone across so it lines nicely. So now let me just check and see how stable that is. Yeah, that's okay. I've had to lower the phone grip right down to the bottom, and I've used the correct screens, the light screens here. Now something I've noticed is that the little hood that's on the top here is visible in the screen. So even though I've got this mobile phone set as low as I possibly can, it's still visible. You can see as I lift that hood up, it actually hops out of shot. So that's something you're going to have to be a little bit careful of. The only way I can get rid of it is to zoom slightly to about 1.2 times digital zoom on the standard lens. Now your phone might be a little bit different to that. Okay, mine might particularly be a little bit wider. On 2 times zoom, or using the other lens, it's fine. It seems to look really good, it seems to hold very well, there's no problem with the camera falling off, and as LensGo have advertised, it does fold in 1 second, but that's all it does, it just folds up, bang. You could do that with a wooden box, couldn't you? I'm going to endeavour to set up my Sony RX10 on the back of the teleprompter. It's fairly weighty, but it hasn't got a long lens on it, and you can always work out the size of the lens ring you need, because if you look carefully on the end of this Carl Zeiss lens, it actually says 62mm, and you just match up the correct ring. Then on the back here, see if I can fit it on without having to remove that mobile phone mount. Now, it looks like I can mount it on, and there we have it. Little clips are in place holding it so it doesn't fall off. Now let me just have a feel of that, take it off the mount. Actually, that feels very balanced.
So that size camera might be okay on top of there. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend mounting a heavy camera on the back here, on the end of the lens, because the manufacturers of camera lenses certainly didn't design the camera to be mounted on the end. If there was a little bit of support here or something, that might be different. So maybe LensGo can consider that in the future. Maybe a bracket that connects on to these mounting points on the back here could come out and take a little bit of weight of that camera. That would make it really good. So I'm going to give the teleprompter a try outside to see how it performs in the high level light. My iPad is set to high intensity, so the brightness is as high as it can go, but the yellow writing is very, very clear against the black background. So I'll just start it up. Let's use the little trigger to stop the text, and we'll see how we go. G'day, my name is Gary, and on this channel I upload tutorials and reviews to reduce the stress of creating video content. If you haven't already done so, please consider subscribing. Well, that's really easy. Now, one thing I like about the little application that comes with it is that you can move the text forward and back in steps, like in paragraphs, or you can stop with that little button. Even though there's a lot of shine out here from the surface of the iPad coming up onto the glass, back to the camera, I can still see that text really, really clearly. Now with beam splitting glass, it's a little bit different to standard glass. You're actually getting a reflection off the face instead of the back of the glass, so you're not getting any double images. It's as clean as anything, much better than the one I've been using. I actually made a teleprompter from creating a little box, and I put a sheet of glass in it, and you do see double image using standard glass, but with beam splitting glass you don't get that double image from the face and the back of the pane of glass.